Namaskar. Welcome to this special session. I normally put out a video at 6 a.m. Today I was busy, so I could not put it out. So I'm now live at 8 a.m. and I request to all of you to please like this video because a lot of things are happening in the background as events are heading up for a climax in Bangladesh. Why do I say that? Well, for one thing, 2-3 days ago, the Prime Minister Muhammad Yunus ordered the army to stand guard at all Hindu temples and charitable institutions. But what is the plight of the average Hindu in Bangladesh? I've done a monologue, you probably all saw it yesterday, where I told how the Hindus are distributed across Bangladesh. It's not an enclave. You cannot get them into one place so that they have safety. And more importantly, what about all the land possessions or other things? How about their house? How can they transplant their house? So things have to be solved at the place they have started. And we are also seeing instances of the army itself shooting down Hindus. That's a problem. The army needs to be open and tell what action it took against a soldier who killed a Hindu in broad daylight. So these are all problems that are facing the Yunus government. And I'm not even going to talk about the other problems. The borders are sealed. Nothing is going in. Nothing is coming out. What does that mean? India might also suffer some problems because of the fact that there is nothing coming out. Finished goods, for example. There may be some companies in India who may be expecting the stock to come from Bangladesh, and then they in turn might export it. These people are now stuck. So what is going to happen? It's now at least 7-8 days since the whole thing started. The saga started on the 5th of August. Today we are on the 17th, so 13th day. So a lot of things are happening. What is the real stake here? What is at stake here? What is the point? Well, United States, it looks like, wants to control or wants to be very close to China to act just in case. And to that end, looks like somebody from the United States Department of State came and visited 𝗥 Hasina and said that you give us a base in St. Martin's Island and we will let you continue. This was a direct or indirect threat. And she said, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to endanger Bangladesh's security. And therefore, then you saw what happened. But was this really the motive? And we know that US is not going to put boots on the ground anymore. So is it that the United States outsourced it to Pakistan? Now, it could be the same thing. I could search and replace United States with China. What is China's grouse? Well, China thought that it had Bangladesh under the pump. 𝗥 Hasina comes visiting, expecting a 1 billion or a 2 billion grant, or, well, no grants from China. It's always loans. But they said that, well, we'll give you 100 million. And that kind of probably pissed her off. So she cut short her visit by a day and came back to Dhaka. So China also has a grouse here. Who did it? But whoever did it, the person who executed on the ground is definitely the ISI, definitely Pakistan. Because ISI, again, is just, waking up its assets. What are the assets? Jamaat and HUT. And HUT is something that has been known to India since 2003, guys, 2003. The first time an HUT member was caught was in 𝗣𝗚𝗄𝗏, Chennai in 2003. And so it's not something new. But what is known is that these people are even more radical. Now, what I expect to happen is that soon you will start seeing this fight break out in the open. How long is Muhammad Yunus going to last? Is he going to last like 1-2 years and then an election will be held? And his appointment as Prime Minister, will that be validated? Is he going to stand as an independent or is he going to stand for one or the other parties? What about the Awami League, the more secular party in Bangladesh? What are they going to do? Remember, BNP's chief Khaleda Zia has been in prison for sedition, for anti-national activities, and her son also can't dare come to Bangladesh. So what happens to BNP? Is it going to be taken over by a more militant section of the radicals? And most importantly, what action is being taken on the radicals? What did the poor innocent Hindus do? You want to effect a regime change? Fine. Did United States say go and pick Hindu targets? If they did, that is essentially something like human rights violations. That will be a very, very serious charge. I don't want to lay that at the door of United States. What I think happened was they just wanted the regime change, and then when the regime change happened and the students appeared to have been satisfied, they needed to have somebody else step in and keep the pressure. And that's how the Jamaati group were all posing as students. They are all in their mid-30s to mid-40s. How the heck can there be students? So all these things are happening. Many vice chancellors are being transferred out. Chief justices have been forced to resign. Some Hindu government employees are being forced to resign. Now, the Prime Minister Yunus, if he really means what he said, that Hindus will be protected, he should be rescinding all those resignation letters, and he should be giving strict instruction. Whoever is going there, look, these videos are available in social media. Why don't you act on them? If he doesn't act, it's going to eat him. It's going to consume him. It's just a matter of time. How long will it take before he realizes that whatever he is doing, he is feeding this monster, and it's going to consume him eventually? Now, I'm going to show you one video that tells you the spillover effect of all this in India. While India is sealing the border and not letting anybody, including Hindus, in, the effects of this are reverberating across India. For example, in Tamil Nadu, in the state of Tamil Nadu, they have practically banned anyone protesting against the treatment of Hindus in Bangladesh. Who the heck is the DMK government? Well, they say that permission has to be obtained before you can take out processions, and you cannot do that. What is worse is, I'm told, in some of these permissions, they've even said you cannot even carry the Indian flag. I mean, if this is not grounds for dismissal, I don't know what is. And their, refusal to implement the EWS, economically weaker sections reservations, for the last 5 years. That came just before the 2019 elections. So I don't know what the Modi government is waiting for. I clearly don't understand what is going on there. And I can only tell you that these are all things that are low-hanging fruit that they should be working on. I haven't even seen a letter asking why the EWS has not been implemented. India is for everyone, right? So why are they not implementing the EWS? Why isn't the center asking questions of the Tamil Nadu government? See what they reply. They're probably going to ignore 2-3 times. They ignore, just put 355, that you're not implementing the law of the land. Why are they not doing that? I don't know, guys. They have so many options. In fact, they had so many options. Within 3 months of EWS being announced, when the Bharatiya Janata Party came back with a monster-like majority, now it looks like a monster-like majority because it is well above the halfway mark. Why did they not do this? So this is basically it. So you have to choose one or the other. Basically, the government is incompetent or the government is afraid. I don't know. If there is a third option, please put it down by way of comments. So this is where I see it. Now let's get back to Bangladesh again. Oh, before that, I want to show you a procession that got stoned on by the peacefuls. Just take a look at this. Try to make sense of this. This happened in Nashik, and Who is the pelting group? Are these the peacefuls? And what are they pelting against? And more importantly, why is the police rushing the other side? Shouldn't they be taking care of these peacefuls? Well, they spread on 3 directions, but mostly in 1 direction. So I don't know. Maybe some more details will emerge on what happened here. But clearly, the stone pelting was being done as a way to stop the Hindus from taking out a procession. Remember, Maharashtra is being run by the BJP government. What is the BJP government going to do? All the pictures of all the stone pelters is available by way of videos. Are you going to go and bulldoze their properties? Why are you not doing it? Somebody has already set the template. Why are you not executing it? I'm curious. If those of you who live in Nashik have any update, please put it by way of comments, and maybe we'll touch upon it in a future hangout as to what happened. Now, China is now playing a game, it looks like. What is China's interest here? China wants to be able to have its way in Bangladesh because it wants an alternative to the Malacca Strait. Because it knows India and Indonesia, if they band together, they can choke the Malacca Strait. This has been known for a long time. What are all the things they tried? They tried CPEC corridor, they are trying BRI, and they feel that maybe they can get into Bangladesh. Now, if you take a look across from China, how close is China to Bangladesh? Well, near the bottom, it's about 100 kilometers from the Kunming of China to the Bay of Bengal. So if they can cut a corridor across that, they would be able to have their own alternative. But is this something that is feasible? I think not. Why? Because it's very forested jungle area. It's not something that's going to be easy for you to transport, and anyone there is not going to allow the Chinese to come in and have their rig run. On the other hand, the Chinese have also sent 2 ships to the Bay of Bengal. Now, US has already expressed its intention to have a base in St. Martin's Island. In all these things, what is India doing? This is right in its backyard. One can say that St. Martin's is being used as a ploy by the United States to keep an eye on China, but it will also be able to keep an eye on India. It's not very far from India's coast either. So will India allow it? Well, or is India waiting to see what the United States will do now that 2 ships of China have already entered the bay? Interesting times ahead. So this is what we stand today, and India needs to do something decisive. And if it doesn't do that, especially these riots in Nashik, if India doesn't come down and act swiftly, I'm afraid Maharashtra, Haryana, Jharkhand, they're all gone. And it's now clear. If you don't act, if you don't perform, then you will perish. So there is an alternative. There's a loudmouth who wears T-shirts to look young. The interesting thing is this T-shirt menace has spread to almost all the dynas. Even Udaynidhi has started wearing T-shirts. I mean, you need to apply your brains. You can't just be listening and looking at things and say, okay, I like this guy because he is this. He's good, he can speak good English, blah, blah, blah. These are not qualifications for a good politician. A good politician should be first able to walk the talk. How many of these people are walking the talk? Do a math on this. Start applying your heads when you vote. Don't vote with your hearts. That's a sincere request I can give for all those of us who are going and casting your vote in various elections. Now, let's take a few questions. Just give me a minute while I line up the questions that have been asked so far. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Okay, 3 questions. Let's go one by one. First question is from Narayana. Sir, Ukraine forces invaded into Russia. Ukraine bought by BlackRock. What is Deep State's actual agenda? Is it trying to remain as number 1, or is it about depopulation and making money out of wars? I think it's many things, Narayana. Deep State has a certain interest because they have been controlling how the world functions for a long time. And now with people like Modi or Trump, who might get elected, they see that their grip on the world is being challenged. Maybe the COVID virus also was an attempt to try and regain that. And now you are seeing it's not just Bangladesh, right? Thailand also had a revolution. They had a change. and a former prime minister's daughter is now the new prime minister. So somewhere along the line, a lot of machinations are happening in the back end. As to what these are going to lead to, one doesn't know. As far as Ukraine is concerned, Ukraine has in Kursk has got a significant victory, and whether the Russian, whoever, the dictator Putin, is going to say, okay, now I don't think I'm going to be able to win this war. Let me sit down and negotiate a ceasefire. Maybe I'll get a few and I'll have to be satisfied with that. Remember why this was fought in the first place. It was fought in the first place because Russia felt that NATO was going to attack them and that they needed to have a buffer, and they felt that the attack would come through Ukraine, and therefore they wanted to establish that buffer. Their goal was to not perhaps occupy all of Ukraine, but at least the portion right of the Dnipro river. That river cuts Ukraine into two, and I've talked about this for a couple of years now. You guys can go back and remember what I talked about. What have they got thus far? They have partial control over the Donbas region, and they still control Crimea. What does the Ukraine want? They want to drive Russia out of all these places. Will Ukraine be successful? I think not. Will Russia be able to expand its footprint? I think not. So it's a good time to sit down for a ceasefire and negotiate it. By the way, I don't know what happened to Modi's trip to Ukraine. Looks like he quietly called it off. And this is what I had advised, that this is not time to go flying to this kind of an area. So that is where things stand. I don't know exactly what the intentions of deep state are, except that they want to exert control over how the world functions. Anand Gopal and Kidambi wants to know, when police in Bangladesh are non-functional, how can the army help Hindus? Muhammad Yunus is obviously not in control of what is happening in Bangladesh, leave alone Hindus. Yes, indeed. In fact, the students are now saying that we are going to form our own party. I don't know the wisdom of the students. And in my opinion, students have no business getting into politics. You need to first study. You need to learn. You are still in the learning phase. Why the heck are you getting into politics? You look at all the other unions that went on to become political parties. Were they successful? Awesome Gana Parishad. What happened? After Prafulla Mohanta and one other guy, I don't remember the name, the number one and number two, these two guys became chief ministers for some time. After that, what happened? The AGP is completely defunct now. They don't have the breadth of understanding of how a state bureaucracy works, how to get the best out of it. You need to, start at a lower level, become a mayor of a small town perhaps, then a city, then a corporator. You get the idea, right? Politics is not so easy. The corruption comes a little bit later. First, you have to learn the ropes. And I don't know whether any student organization can start running a country, especially as complex as Bangladesh. And by the way, does anyone know where Nadeem Anjum is? This is the chief of ISI. He has been missing for a while now. No sighting of him. What happened to him? Faiz Hamid has been arrested and is going to undergo court-martial. But what happened to the current ISI boss? Where is he hiding? Maybe they should be looking for him in Bangladesh, not in Pakistan. In jest. Anand Gopalan again, how important for India to send Hasina out of India? Has Hasina seriously trying to get asylum in another country? Hasina did, and at that point of time, US was not inclined, so therefore they rejected her visa, and they also made sure that any Western country to whom she was applying to was also saying the same thing. So right now the doors are closed for Sheikh Hasina. I think she's fine in India. I thought it might not be good for India, but you will see the Nashik-like riots. But what I'm curious is, this is a BJP-run state. You need to crack down, guys. If you don't, and if you just let them do what they're doing, they'll continue to do it. Where do all the stones come from? Where do all the stones come from? Why haven't India, anytime something like this happens, right, you need to take a stock of all the madrasas and the mosques in that area. Find out how many of them are storing stones, and worse, if they are found storing all those things, shut it down. Shut the damn thing down. Anush wants to know, RSS people taking their actions, our borders are being sealed on Northeast. Locals of Tamil Nadu need to polarize before water is above the neck. Anush, Tamil Nadu is one of those reactive states. They still think that, see, if you keep on feeding lies to people for years, and BJP never tried to, rebut back until Annamalai came along. But again, they haven't really succeeded in shutting down some of the more rabid TV channels. You don't know. You guys don't. Many of you don't understand Tamil. I watch these channels. It's all lies, lies, and greater lies. And this has to be stopped. I mean, media has a responsibility. You can shut down every one of them. This is where I was so disappointed that Prannoy Roy got away despite having been caught with his hand in the cookie jar. The template used by NDTV, I am asserting, has been used by just about every media company in Tamil Nadu, not only in Tamil Nadu, perhaps in India. And whatever you do there, you should be able to copy and paste in every state. And these are all politicians feeding their money back into these TV channels. You know that Kalanya TV is the family's TV operation. Sun TV is also theirs. So you know that these are all known things. But yet nothing has happened. Why is there no action on part of the INB minister, who happens to, the state minister happens to be from Tamil Nadu? L. Murugan, what has he done for the last 6-7 years that he has been state minister of INB? Masterly inactivity. So I'm just a neutral observer here. I'm just saying that BJP doesn't do anything. Why do you give him the ministry again then? I don't know how Modi decides whom to assign portfolios. This person was a total disaster in my opinion. So, okay, so that's all we have for now. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. I'll be back at 11 o'clock with Xavier Rodriguez with a new development that is happening where American Baptist Church, it is believed, is trying to influence Naidu to try and tell him or to try and nudge him to withdraw support to the Modi government. Is this going to happen? Who are the players? How it's going to play out? Savio has a fairly good idea. So do join us at 11 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click on the bell button for notifications. Namaskar.